came out of the oven. All vegan. Absolutely delicious. Hey, and welcome to another episode of 365 Thoughts on Confidence. Just checking if I got anything in my teeth. I've been doing some baking today. Made the most awesome vegan oat crunchies, and they are just divine. It's one of those cookies that you just can't have just one. You have to keep on going until they're all finished. And I think the challenge has been accepted. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Abigail, and I'm a self-proclaimed confidence crusader on a mission to help women elevate their personal and professional confidence. And I do this through this daily vlog, through my specialist women's portrait photography, through workshops, online courses, and pretty much everything else that I put out online. If you feel like you could do with a daily boost of confidence, then consider subscribing to this channel. Today is day 63 of 365, and the thought of the day reads, imperfection is the new perfection. I use this phrase quite a bit in my whole mission of helping women elevate their confidence, and it really is about cracking through this unobtainable idea that we all buy into at some point in our journeys, that we're meant to be perfect. I'm already showered and in my pajamas. It's only 5 o'clock on a Sunday evening, and my hair's a mess. I don't think I brushed it today. And so while I have this idea of what a perfect Sunday is, sometimes a perfect Sunday is the most imperfect Sunday. And it's small things like that every time we practice our, appreciating our imperfection, that's actually what makes us even more perfect. I was reading up this morning about women in history, women that have impacted modern society. And because if you didn't know, March is Women in History Month. So I was reading up on some of the women in our histories to get a sense of what it was that they did, what they achieved, and what impact they've had on our lives now. That had they not done what they did, how our lives now might be different. And it's just astounding to read about what these women were able to achieve in a time where it seemed as if everything was against them. There was a time when women were essentially viewed only as property. There was a time when women didn't have the right to vote. We were basically treated as second-hand citizens, or second-grade citizens. And what struck me the most in reading all of these stories is that against all those odds, these women were able to forge forward imperfectly and still being able to have a massive impact. Because in their time, think about it, there was no rule book, there was no guideline, there was no, 101 to doing whatever it is they were doing. There was no social media, there was no internet for them to figure out what it was that they had to be doing. They figured it out all on their own through a process of embracing their imperfectness, through trial and error. They just worked at it, and they experimented, they took chances, they risked, they gave themselves permission to fail, they gave themselves permission to not show up perfectly. They accepted that there would be others who would try to stand in their way and who would try to stop them from progressing forward. And in spite of all of that, they carried on. And here we are in this modern time with the internet. Auntie Google is at our fingertips. If we ever have a question about anything, we can just Google. These cookies that I baked earlier, where do you think I got the recipe from? I looked it up on Pinterest, because I did not stand here experimenting and figure out, well, if I had so much of that sugar and I added so much of that butter and vegan margarine, and try through an imperfect process to figure out what the secret recipe was for making these oatmeal cookies. No, I just went to Pinterest or to Google and I found the answers that I was looking for. So we, in this modern age, we have so many more opportunities and things are so much easier for us these days. And that because of that, we seem to think that we are expected to do and be perfect all the time. We're expected to do everything that we do perfectly. We're expected to be perfect in every way, shape or form, because with the internet comes all this information, but with the internet also comes all of, visibility of how others are doing it. And from our perspective, it looks as if they've got their shit together and it looks as if their life is perfect. And then we see our own and we're like, well, my life doesn't look like that at all. My business doesn't look like that at all. So there must be something wrong with me. So all of this information at our fingertips is both a blessing and a curse, because it's taken away that willingness to be imperfect. It's taken away that willingness to get messy and to struggle and to figure it out for ourselves and go through that very challenging process. And so then we've developed this idea that we're meant to be perfect. And yet I think if we did give ourselves that permission to get back in touch with our imperfectness, that's where we will probably make the most strides. That's where we'll probably have the biggest breakthroughs, because it's such an organic and authentic process of discovering what we are capable of and who we actually are. So perhaps there's a lesson here to disconnect a bit and to get messy and to invite that process and to experiment and to see what, try on this imperfection that we are. So yeah, I feel like I'm ending this video very imperfectly because I don't really have a succinct ending, and I'm just gonna, based on today's thought of the day, I'm gonna kind of roll with it and just leave it there, just like that. I hope you still enjoyed this video. I feel like I'm rambling. To be honest, I'm very tired after yesterday's run, and so I'm physically exhausted today. So those cookies, they're gonna get into my belly just now, and I'm gonna turn on the TV and I'm not moving from this spot on the couch. And that for me is actually the definition of a perfect Sunday, the way I'm feeling right now. So I hope you have a fantastic Sunday. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications button. And then let me know how you've come against this idea of imperfection being the new perfection. Have you had an example recently that really demonstrates the power of this idea? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you found this video valuable, then please share it with your friends, because they'll probably find it valuable as well. And if more of us were willing to get vulnerable about our confidence, about being honest with where we're at, I think that's how we're all going to show up in a more imperfect way. That's how we're going to have more influence and impact in our worlds. So go ahead and share that with them. And don't forget, you've got a few more hours until midnight tonight to get your hands on my Conscious Confidence course and my blog photography basics course. I'll put the links down in the description below. So only a few more hours, so make sure that you don't miss out on this massive celebratory discount sale that I'm having this weekend. And then if you are in the Cape Town area and you really do want to get serious about elevating your confidence, then consider joining me for my one-day Conscious Confidence workshop happening on the 20th of March in Constantia. It's going to be such a beautiful day. I'm already putting together the amazing goodie bags, let alone anything else. So make sure that you get signed up. I am only opening up a limited number of spots, so make sure you get signed up if now feels like the right time for you to get serious about your confidence. Your life and your business will thank you for it, I guarantee you. Have yourself a fantastic Sunday, and I will see you tomorrow.